This is how to socialize like old money. I want to read this entire section, so please bear with me. And again, the tip of this book is not to read it and try to be something that you're not. It is a tour guide and a piece of information to help you to live a better life. Most people that work for me are probably more intelligent than I am. The one thing I can do is walk into a room where I don't know anybody and leave knowing 5 people I could either become friends with or do business with. I don't always like doing it, but I've learned to do it because I like the results. This is an old money guy in Philadelphia that said that. So old money leads an active and vibrant social life. Old money celebrates life. You should too. Friends, family, classmates, colleagues comprise the social network of old money, as they do for most people. Even in this age of the internet, socializing by old money is done primarily face-to-face at casual or formal events specifically designed for social interaction. Old money does not habitually socialize in bars, though the occasional after-work drink is not unheard of. Don't listen to this and be like, yes, they do. He's speaking generally. Yes, you might find somebody from old money in a bar having a whiskey every now and then. But what he's saying is they don't pride themselves on going to bars for social interactions. Will they be found there? Maybe. But generally speaking, that's not where they do their socialization. Most socializing occurs in private homes, restaurants, and private clubs. Conversation is the lifeblood of old money socializing. Lively, intelligent, interesting conversation is what defines an old money social event more than any other quality. The ability to engage in conversation comfortably and enjoyably with people one has never met is a hallmark of old money. For the shy and inexperienced, it simply requires the practice of a few fundamentals. Know how you're expected to dress and what time you're expected to arrive at an event. Know the reason, if there is one, for the event. When in doubt, OMGs, fall back on the blue blazer and the black dress discussed in the attire chapter. He did a really good job breaking down the attire chapter, in which he described like what you should and shouldn't wear, not to police you, but just to give you guidelines on how to do things. Because I also think this is something that's discussed in another book, very big book, The New Basic Black, and it's talking about like the lost art of socialization in society, learning how to host and just proper etiquette. And in that section, he details a lot of things that people are not aware of. Like, for instance, this didn't come from this section, but it's something to think about. Many people don't even know like the difference between formal, semi-formal, and a black tie event. And if you don't know those things, it's good to have that in your repertoire so that if something were to come up, you would know, because it's telling, and it's kind of embarrassing to show up at an event where the attire is one thing and you show up in inappropriate clothing. So unless specifically told not to, or you are attending a formal event, bring a bouquet of flowers, dessert, or a bottle of wine for the host or hostess if the event is at their home. If you're attending a formal event, have flowers delivered to the host the day before or after. Know if it's permissible to bring a guest before asking someone to accompany you. That is huge. Even when you're not dealing with old money, even when you're just dealing in regular situations, do not get an invitation for yourself and take it upon yourself to invite extra people without checking in with the guest to make sure that that's okay, or without RSVPing that additional guest. If the hosts have invited you and not invited you to bring a guest, don't ask to bring one. This may put them in an awkward position, or you may have someone in mind for you to meet, or they may have someone in mind for you to meet. Know someone very, very well before inviting them to accompany you to a social event. You'll be measured by your guest's behavior, as it is a reflection on your taste and judgment. This is very true. So if you go to an event and the person that you're with does something that's embarrassing to you, that also falls on you. And this may seem like people pleasing, but again, it's just basic etiquette as a human. When meeting someone, shake their hand firmly and smile. Remember their name. Use their name when you address them in initial conversation. This will help you to remember it. And if y'all remember, we were reading from Emotional Intelligence Habits. He was saying that's an easy way for people to feel more connected with you, an easier way for people to deem you as more likable when you can remember their names and say their names throughout conversation. Ask questions. Listen. Look the other person in the eye. Do not ask personal questions such as what someone does for a living, how much money they make, or what kind of car they drive. When it comes to the what do you do for a living question, there were a lot of people that are like, that's completely appropriate. That's appropriate at a networking event when you're trying to gauge whether or not this person is someone that you can partner with, but it's completely inappropriate at a personal gathering or in a regular social setting where nobody's talking about work. It's inappropriate. You may ask them where they're from or how they know the host of the event you are both attending. If you're drinking wine, ask them if they know something about wine. Compliment them sincerely on something about their appearance that you like, not their breasts or other body parts for that matter. When asked a question, respond honestly but diplomatically. Elaborate a little, but remember, conversation is an exchange. One-word answers can kill it, but so can monologues. So don't talk too much, but also don't talk too little. If this sounds exhausting, just know that you're probably not going to find yourself in this type of situation, so this video is just not going to be valuable for you. Don't try to be funny. You're either funny or you're not. In either case, use humor cautiously during an initial conversation. Do not tell jokes. Do not do a stand-up comedy routine. You may tell brief, emphasis on brief, interesting stories about things that you've done or want to do. Immediately after doing so, however, direct the conversation back to the person or persons you're talking with. Ask about their interests. Again, this may seem exhausting, but he's giving you a blueprint, especially as a shy or more introverted person, on how to navigate these social settings and to not feel completely out of place. Because whether or not we like it, sometimes you need to be in these social settings so that you can attend an event that you were invited to. Maybe it is a networking event. Maybe it is an opportunity for you to meet new people. But these are things that you can use to kind of help you to navigate those situations. Note, these stories are infinitely more appealing if they are not boastful, and avoid death, destruction, and disease. Don't monopolize someone's time. Everyone is there to socialize. After a few minutes of conversation, feel free to thank them for talking with you, tell them you enjoyed it, and ask to be excused to get a drink, refreshed, use the restroom, or simply to say hello to other guests. If you like to talk more with them, ask them for a business card, or if they might have time to speak more before the event is over. Old money social events are upbeat. Conversation is lively and optimistic. Tragedy, personal problems, unpleasant topics are not discussed. I personally think that also includes politics, because while America is such a place of like polarizing beliefs, we think that everyone is emotionally charged, like we are, behind the things that we believe. And a lot of times politics ends up being something off-putting. You may think that a person agrees with you, and then you say something extremely ridiculous and polarizing, and now you just said something that's completely off-putting, and you think that that's you being authentic and real, but it's actually just you being inconsiderate and not reading the room, because this is not the time to have that discussion, especially if nobody invited you to open up to talk about that thing. So if you do something stupid or clumsy, we all do, simply try to minimize the damage, clean it up, or correct it. Apologize if necessary and say that was embarrassing, and then move on. Talk about something else. If you're around old money, they'll play it off like it was nothing and join you in changing the subject and try to make everyone feel comfortable again. Networking among old money is done very, very diplomatically. When you tell someone what you do or what you're interested in doing for a living, wait for them to inquire further about it. Don't press. Old money can spot a sales pitch from a mile away. I think that's a good tip too. Now, here are the tips that he gives at the end of every chapter, but these are for social cues. Regardless of how much you really, really feel the music, do not dance if no one else is dancing. That one is... It's so funny, but like everything so many videos come to mind. But again, time and place. This is not the high school sock hop. This is not prom. This is not like the Zulu ball. If you're from New Orleans, you know what that is. If nobody is dancing, read the room. This is all about reading the room. It's not about let me be authentic and y'all not real and I'm going to be myself. Okay, go be yourself and look crazy if that's what you want to do. Time and place. You have to read the room. And sometimes you have to regulate and be a little chameleon to blend into your surroundings, so as not to embarrass yourself, but also so as not to alienate yourself from the opportunities that may be in the future. And again, a lot of people are going to say, I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be me. Do it. Do not dance on the table, even if others are dancing. Get down. This is not the club. Unless you're specifically asked by the host or hostess, do not sing or play an instrument, no matter how well you sing or play. Do not grab the microphone like this is karaoke. It's a party. Stay with the group. If you're invited to a secluded part of the house by another guest or the host, politely decline. If you go to a secluded part of the house with another guest or the host during the party, your good reputation may not be there when you return, regardless of what does or does not transpire in private. Again, appearances matter and perception matters, because even though nothing may have happened, who's to say what other people think? Again, I don't want to keep making this clarification, but y'all, we live in real life. This is reality. No matter how hot it may be, do not remove your clothing. If other people remove their clothing, you are not at an old money social event. Leave before you see something you'll regret. Know when to thank your host and leave. Don't overstay your welcome. If you come alone, leave alone. If you come with a guest, leave with that guest. Unless they're driving and have been drinking, then inform your host. Do not drink and drive. Call a cab. It's cheaper than bail. Cliche, but true. Send a thank you note the next day without fail. Again, that's just in general. When somebody invites you to something, gives you something, send them a thank you note. Old money socializing is to connect with friends, share experiences, meet new people, and facilitate business relationships. It's not a place to troll for marriage or sex partners. Flirting is fine, just keep it between the lines. If old money encourages you to meet and talk with someone, make every effort to meet and talk with them, because there is probably a reason. This is coming from the Old Money book by Byron Tully. I am going to create a playlist for this one.